Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to MPC's part 3 of the Snowspeeder build. Today we're going to actually work on the cockpit, getting some stuff done in the cockpit, so let's take a look. Alright, now we are at the point where I painted these. I drilled the holes in them, and I painted them. I put a little bit of tape back here, glued that clear part. You can see the little clear part there. That way light will shine. I'm going to just put a light back here. I think what I'm going to do is drill a hole through the wall, side wall, and put a light back here so when this sits in there like that, and then there'll be a light back in here shining up through, and hopefully it'll light all these. And definitely light that screen, and then any light leaking through will give a little bit of cabin lighting, and that's going to go from both ways. I got all the holes drilled in this one, and see if I can. Yeah, I got holes drilled in this one all across in here. A few up on top. And do the same thing. But what I'm going to do, here's this little scope which goes there. I want to drill a hole here and mushroom a big piece of blue fiber optic in there and try to make the mushroom head as big as possible. I don't have a real large fiber optic. I wish that was close, but then I would have to use the fiber for the gluing of the part. And this will give me this is the biggest fiber optic I have without totally destroying all that. So what we'll do is we'll drill that out, and try to mushroom that as big as possible. So it just gives a bigger blue light back there, kind of like a scope. Do I go with a blue or a green? I don't know. I just want to go with something different because the decal for the front that's going to get lit up is green, so I figured blue would be a little something different. So, and then I went through and painted the seat already too. So the seat's black, so they're good to go. Most of that's going to be covered by the figure, because I figure I might as well put the figures in there, even though they look like World War II guys, because of the thing on their chest looks like a parachute. I'm going to paint it that light gray to kind of simulate that box that they had on the Rebel flight suits, but that's okay. We'll make it work. These guys are all painted up. I did that in the antique brass. I did a copper there, some silver. These are gunmetal, the actual squares there. That back there is a gunmetal, and I did some brass or copper, worn penny copper back there, just to give them some detail, and then I'll lightly mist them with some white to kind of blend them in, and that's kind of what I believe how they were on the studio model. You just do that mist and it blends them in, and that's how the Falcon was, because a lot of times people did those pits in the Falcon really too dark, and you just kind of do them with black, detail the mechanics as you want, and then mist it with, the hull color. Some people use the insignia white. I use the aircraft gray, light gray, and because it already had a weathered look to it, and you just mist over, and it just pulls everything together. But if once you want to do all that, I find you do all that detail first, as far as detail painting, and then it blends it all in. So what we got to do here first is, I think, drill the hole, and then with this I'm going to paint a German gray, or I don't know, maybe I'll just do the whole thing black and do silver highlights or something, just to pull something different back here. That wouldn't look too bad black either. So I think I'm going to have it face this way. And what I was thinking of doing, there's raised pieces, and doing them raised pieces in black. Like this ring that goes all the way around, and then the two little parts that go across, and then those come up, and then there'll be like a gray in there. But I want to at least get this hole drilled first. And so let's try, and hopefully we can go dead center. I should fill that in with putty too. The gaps. Hopefully this will work. Oh yeah, it did. Now hopefully the fiber optic will go straight through. It's fitting that way. It's trying to get it, because it's kind of hollow. It's two pieces glued together. There it goes. And yeah, if I shine that up in the light, I get a blue. But hopefully I can mushroom it to where at least it gives a bigger blue. But we'll see. I'm not counting my chickens. I could always paint that something in there too. Maybe I'll paint it a blue as well. Like a silver and then a blue or something. Transparent blue. I can get a pretty decent, I think I'll just paint it blue in there. So, I can get it pretty decent in there. But I think that's what I'll do. Hit it with gray, and then detail some spots in black, and maybe silver. Maybe a little, if that's that top piece, I might do like a silver there and a brass there, just to pull some color. Or do the top one silver and the bottom one brass. Maybe I'll do that little piece there, brass, and then there's silver. And then that's silver. I think that's what we'll do. But, okay, so now we got the hole in. Put this aside somewhere. Let's paint her. The best way to do that is going to just crimp it in that. And get my Tamiya German Gray. Booth. Maybe I can, let's see if I can turn this around and get some type of there we go. And then we'll let that dry for a moment. Bring it back over to here. We have to excuse the fan noise for a bit. Yeah, it's also fumes. Now, I'm not sure if I can turn one of them off. Now, I'm not sure if I should do some window cement in there and then color them from behind, or try to just drop some color in them and then maybe window clear them from behind the paint. Cat's opening the doors as usual. Yeah, I wonder. I think if I drop some paint in there. These are a little thicker holes than photo etch, where you can just drop the paint in the holes in it. When you backlight it, it shows. These are a little thicker, and I'm afraid the paint will get too thick, and I won't get the brightness I want. So I'm going to do the window cement. I'm going to give that a try. This is kind of the first time I'm just drilling the holes. Because I could normally just stick fiber optics in there, but fiber optics always give you those weird... You can kind of see them, you know what I mean? And they don't always fit right because you don't get the mushrooms right. And when these are close together like that, yeah, I'm afraid it can cause a problem. But we got to be careful because I got to glue that piece in there, so I don't want to get too much in where I don't want it. So, or at least here I can. And I think the clear. And I have to be opening the other bottle here soon. I think this thing's been clogging itself up too. Alright, now let's see. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, because this stuff usually just flows out of there. Now, did it work its way up into the holes? Yeah, it did. Except for that big one. It's probably got an air bubble there, that's why. There it goes. Alright, perfect. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's going to shrink up anywho. This is where I got to be careful because it's... And I can get rid of the excess with a wet Q-tip or something. Which I think I might do, because I don't need a ton. What's going on here? That was weird. Just take a wet Q-tip. Kind of. Probably shouldn't even go wet, just dry, so I can soak some of it up. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, the dry side. Oh, yeah. Looks like I lost a little bit out of those. Is it that side? That side right there. It's kind of giving a yellow look because yeah, I gotta be careful I know I have one of these set as a glue, and I think it's this one. I want them to pop out as flush as possible, so the more you kind of push them, better it's working. And that's working pretty good. I didn't do that one in that corner, did I? I forgot. I missed that one. I did. Well, I don't think it'll take much to drill that out. And this is the right bit size. Yeah. I missed a hole, folks. We'll get some. Yeah, I don't have to do much now at all since I unclogged her. There we go. Yeah. And see, that comes up and fills those holes really nice, and then that should bring all the light. That should bring all the light forward. But just putting a little, you know, some of that in there. Might have to do another application because it does, when it dries, it shrinks. But hopefully it shrinks into the hole. But that'll bring the light more forward, you know, and then you don't have to mess with any LEDs, and it will dry clear wherever It did try to sneak through. Now we just gotta hope some of the bigger ones didn't get bubbles. But that's kind of why I go with the brush too, because it kind of pops them. But alright, so we'll let that set. I'm gonna let it set upside down. And we might as well do this one. And I can actually put the decal on this fairly soon. You can go back up here. I got too many tools out that I don't need. You I just brought up, I forgot. Little bits in there. Let's yeah, we can I was wondering if I should hit, woo, yeah, see it comes. It comes. So let's go with that Q-tip. Suck up some of the extra. But I want some of that clear all over as the light hits the hole underneath this part. The clears kind of absorb it and run it everywhere, you know, like a fiber optic would. Oh yeah, that really worked good. Oh, and I do have one on this front surface here. That makes me happy. Careful, because now it's rushing out of this thing. A little bit if it's trying to get in front of that clear glass. I guess I can smear it over the clear glass a little bit. It's not going to matter on the inside. But yeah, there it is. There's all those buttons, and all those buttons look good. I can see the shininess coming through. So we'll let that dry. And I think I can put the, we'll see how that works. Let me keep cleaning this too. I need to do that more often. Alright. I think these are about secured now. Oh, they glued together really good. At least that one did. Yeah. No creaking or crackling. So those are together. And I gotta just drill a hole through those. So we can get the fiber optic through. And then they'll go on these. I don't know if they have a registry for which one they go on. I think it really matters. There we go. So, and then while I was off camera, I just drilled a small hole here for a wire for this LED strip. And I did that one and taped that one back there. I might even want to run a little glue back there. A lot of times I hit them with super glue because you know, I should use that really fast solvent. The really fast drying one. Quick set. Now this one I had to keep close to the floor because of the way this little bump back here sits. So, and I already tested it, so it's working good. Alright, so what I want to do with the next one, I already pre-stripped it. I just gotta split these wires apart and then figure out what the length it is. And one of these real small wires I have that are in a pair already, which is kind of nice. I only got like one set of wires that are a pair to run over that way. And I'm going to go off of this new, I'm going to make a new spot here. Let's tin this. Okay. Make sure we get these a little twist and tin these. These nippers and get rid of the excess. Not too much wire. Alright, and make sure what's positive is positive. It'll tell you. So, try to do this one-handed. Get the solder up like that so I can just touch it. Make sure your solder joints are shiny. That way that means it doesn't have a cold solder joint. And a lot of times touching fresh solder will give you the better solder joint. Give them a healthy tug. And then we got to guesstimate how far this one goes back. That's why I have the lid. This is going to sit here. That one's going to come back and make it here. So this one's going to be much shorter. We can probably cut her off here. Leave extra. It's always good to leave extra. You can always cut away. And there, we're done with that. And now we can there was no real rhyme or reason to drill the hole on the opposite side of the ship. I made this hole just big enough. There we go. Just big enough for that to come through. Too much. And the nice thing with Star Wars things, if there was some reason you'd see those little wires there, it's not a big deal. Bet that works. Now let's test it with the I think that'll do it. I mean, I could come up a little bit. And then let's try this quick. That's, you know, like I said, a lot of times I just use super glue. Ooh, that definitely has a different smell, boy. Yeah, it's like, it's gone. It's dry. Yeah, see, that definitely helped that stick. I don't always trust that. Let's see if we can get a light test here. Alright, there's the front consoles, the front lights. And then these, see if it lights anything. See if it lights anything and how much the light lock. Oh, whoops, backwards. I should always know if this doesn't fit right, it's because I'm doing something stupid. Let's see how much light leak we get. And see, that gives us a nice ambient light out from under here. And it's going to get darker when the guy's legs are under there. You're not going to be able to see it, but right here is the screen. And that's lighting up really good. The holes I drilled in the console are lighting up pretty good. We're just going to have to close all that that's leaking around the edge. I don't mind up here because they're supposed to kind of, but from this point on, I don't mind right here, but from this point on, we're going to seal all that up. And see if we can get these to do the same. Check it out of the way. Positive and negative. And that's perfect. And let's see how this looks. Not too bad at all. The light's coming through those holes. The light's coming through that little fiber optic that I did for the screen. The light's definitely coming through the little holes down the bottom, and we got some ambient light. I'm okay with that. You have to get way down like that to see that strip. This one's a little more visible, but again, you have to get down. You're never going to get that angle, and then there's going to be figures, 2 figures here too. So, alright, yeah, so LEDs are in. We need to put the screen in this. This one we can glue down, which we're going to do right now. So we can say done Dundee. Because that looked good. I got everything painted on here that I want to. I think so. This is where this comes in handy. Because it just lets glue run out that I need. Oops, that would be a bad thing. There we go. I think most of that gets hidden. I'll throw some of this quick tacking. Yeah, it's set up already. Beautiful. Ooh, boy, does that have a smell to it. Alright, let's close that up too. Love that Revell. So we should probably get the decal on here. I'm not going to go for the full getting a tray with water. I'm just going to go run it under the sink quick before my battery dies, and then we'll do that and glue that in there. And good thing I found references for all these other little markers. Still probably have to look for more because I don't know where that goes. I know where those go. I know where these go. That goes. But then all these optionals. Still haven't figured out where all those go. So what we got to do is we got to get to this little display here. Ooh, woohoo. Like I should be able to cut through that and not have an issue, but I am having issues. I know this knife's not the sharpest of all knives, but holy cow. Alright. I'm just going to run that underwater and hope for the best. Alright, let's hope and pray. if this works, I think it'll be easier to do. Let's give that a moment. There it is, it broke free. And I don't know how they say it's a gunner, because the gunner I would think is in the back. But it's made for this console up front, so. And I think we're going to have to hit it with some German gray up there if I can get into that German gray. Because I knew that the display would be a little shy shorter. Get this. Oh, I don't need it wet. Maybe I should. Get the water out from underneath this. Looks like it's more to the right than the left, but then I got all this clear carrier paper that wants to go over my detail. If I center it. But I'm going to have to hit gray there because I can see already. And on the bottom, I can see hold this side and try to squeeze some of that. Since another reason, another thing I'm finding with like older decals is they don't dissolve as nice. There we go. A little green display, and there's a little AT-AT and another one real far away in the distance. So when that sits in there, that'll look like that. That kind of gives me a little bit of a visual too. Maybe I go around that with black. Yeah. We'll go around that with black. To make a black computer screen. That'll bring some more color to that front display because I really like the back one better. Even though these weren't supposed to have a lot, but yeah, see, that looks good. Or could I run a Sharpie across the bottom of that and top? I don't know if the Sharpie will block it. No. I didn't think so. So we'll take, where's the flat black? A little bit of this flat black, and we'll just brush it in. Tried to be quick. Sometimes the marker trick works great on a lot of stuff. There we go. That works perfect. And like I said, it gives a little more color to that screen up front. Especially when she finally dries, and it'll be more of a duller black. That's kind of more of a rubbery black. Beautiful. Make sure that's cleaned off so it doesn't get boogery. Put some of this quick. I like the smell of the other thin Tamiya cement, but boy, this stuff here is different. Wow. Whew. That is strong, man. Give you a little test there. Aw, look at that. There you go. You can see the screen a little bit. You know, we're getting a little bit of light out of those holes up on top, like we wanted, and a little ambient light down through the bottom. And from both directions, it'll give the pilots a little bit of light. And yeah, I wanted to see, do I need to stick some fiberfill or something in by that screen, or a little piece of paper? I might. That's it. All right, clean my brush out. And there we go. Close this up. Okay, we got things going here. Next thing is to glue these onto there, but I think I want to run the fiber optic through so I can stick it through and mushroom this end. So I'm going to stick it in that way and come out. Got to drill the holes there, and then we can glue them on. And maybe we'll funky around and then hit some glue at the end there to keep it from moving. Because that's the thing in here. There's no real moving. The fiber optic around. So hopefully it comes straight through. We'll figure that out when we get to it. But until next time, thanks for watching.